Yeah, this is what we are. Good evening, class. We are starting another live class today on practical of project management. It's a continuation of what we've been doing, but we need to do like a practical to give us a real life scenario where we can manage our project with one of these project management tools we've listed. You people have been doing some practical like using VCO to do the work breakdown structure, then transferring the work breakdown structure to the project labor. And now we are going to transfer the critical part, which is still the work breakdown structure, to Jira, where you will start the project and start managing the project and executing the project and start collaborating with your project team. So that is what we are going to do today. We have a project, a demo project, which are going to be Jankara e-commerce. We're going to see how we can start that project, initiate that project. Jankara e-commerce using Jira. That is what we are going to do today. And this is the itemization of how we are going to achieve that. We are going to start from, we are going to go to the browser, log into the Jira, then choose the Jira software. These are the rundown of how we are going to do it till we finish. It's going to be a 25 items in the list. We are going to follow it one by one till we finish it. And that is what you people, after all this today's class, you go back on your own and repeat the tasks on your own, and you screenshot it and upload them to your user account in the Facebook group, and then I'll go there to review our work. So that is what we are going to do. So you need to pay attention so that you learn how to go to the Jira and do your practical. Now, the first thing we need to do is to go to the browser and log into Jira. And if we don't have Jira, then we sign up. So that is the thing we are going to start doing now. Now this is our browser. So we have to start, we have to go to the Jira, and what we need to do is to type Jira on the browser, Jira software. That is Jira software, and you bring us to this Jira software. Yeah, this is Jira software. So if you have account, you go to account and log in. If you don't have account, what you need to do is get a free account. Yeah, but because of the fact that I've got an account already, what I will do is to log into my account. I've logged into my account now, and as you can see, Atlassian is a very big company. Jira is one of their software. They have so many softwares like Trello, Confluence, Jira Service, so many of them. But what we are going to use is a Jira software. Jira software, in case if you are logging and you get confused, you don't know where to start or which software to use. What we need to use is Jira software. So that is it. I have 2 projects already here, but if I don't have any projects, here will look blank. So what we need to do is now we have logged in, we need to create a project. We need to create this project I've just mentioned, Jankara e-commerce. Now, you'll be prompted to select the kind of development you want. How do you want it? And on this note, we are going to use the Agile Scrum, not just Kanban. We are going to manage it in a Scrum way. It's going to be Scrum. So we need to choose Scrum. And here, it's going to ask us whether I want to use a template, Scrum template. We'll say yes, to use Scrum template. We click here, use template. Now we have chosen the Scrum template. Now it's going to ask us, how do we want to manage the project? Choose the project type. Is it going to be company managed or is it going to be team managed? We are going to use team managed because company managed is not free. So we use team managed. Click on team managed. Then at this point, we'll be prompted to give our project a name, which I will give it a name now as project Jankara e-commerce. So, and you can look at here, key is giving up PJE, means Project Jankara e-commerce, because you might in your own project you might see something like this, you might not understand. It's a short form of this PJE project. So that's what I mean here. So you need to click here if you have some document from the maybe repository where you've been working. Maybe if you are working, your team has been working using a Basecamp or using a Microsoft Office. If you need to be bringing some documents or codes or maybe any other, so you need to click in order to be getting documents to connect this application with your a third-party softwares. This is a kind of integration. And when you do that, you click next. Now your project has been created successfully. Look down here, say project, Jira project, successfully created. So the next thing you have to do is go to your project. And this is our project board. See, that is our project. So like when I was telling you people that Kanban is a technique that you can incorporate it in so many projects. You know, some people used to call it a methodology, but it's not a methodology because you can incorporate it in so many methodology. This is an agile Scrum methodology, but you can see we are using Kanban. So it's a technique that you can incorporate in so many methodologies. So this is our board where we'll be managing our project when we start the project. This is where we'll be putting all the tasks. We call it a backlog, project or product backlog. Backlog is the same thing with schedule or tasks. So this is in progress. This is where we'll be seeing all the tasks or backlogs or user stories. So when you are hearing backlogs, user story, a backlog is a collection of user stories. User stories are tasks that need to be done. So a collection of like 3 user stories or 4 user stories or 5 user stories is called product backlog. So, or you can call it product backlogs, backlog items. So whichever name you hear, don't be confused, it's still the same thing. And when you finish your work, this is where your work will appear, called done. And here, if you need to create more board, you can create more board. So it's flexible. So in this process, we need to create one more board. So we create one more board here, and we call it testing. We need to test our work before we put it to done. And you see all this board, you can move it around. So how do we do now? We move it here, move the board here. So, and that's, so you can see from to do, that is our backlog, what we schedule to do. You are the project manager, you are going to be scheduling all these activities. You schedule it here, then move it here, from here, after testing, done. And that is it for that particular user story. So what do we need to do now? We have not started anything. We have just come into the project environment. We've not done anything. So we have to start to hit the road and start planning our project. And the first thing we need to do is to create a roadmap for our project. You need to plan your project. So what is roadmap? Roadmap is breakdown structure. You need to break it down. Like from what you'll be doing before, you see initiate, you see define, you see execute, and these are stages. These are roadmap sequence of how you plan to manage this project or achieve this project aim. So that is the first thing we need to create. So go to the left, you can see my cursor to the roadmap. I'll click on roadmap, and then we'll start creating our roadmap. So the roadmap here is epic. If you are in business analysis, you hear a lot about epic list. Epic list. Epic is a category which is still like I said, initiate is a category of project delivery. That is the first stage. Then define is another stage. Then execute is another stage. Then closure is another stage. So the first epic in the roadmap, or the first category in the roadmap, is going to be initiate. So what we are basically doing is transferring what we have in our project labor or from our work breakdown structure, which is a sketch, because we cannot work on that work break. It's just a guide to help you plan the project. Now you have planned it and it looks good. Now you have to start transferring it to the work environment where the real work will start. Because you cannot do the work on Lucy chart, or you cannot do the work using project labor. It's just a tool to help you plan your project before you bring it here. This is the final place where you'll be working on your project. And from here, you go and demonstrate your product, and then after then you close there. So this is what we are doing now. So this is where the main thing will start happening. And continuously, even if you get a job in a company, this is how you are going to be doing it. It's the best practice for now. Although it must not be in Jira, but the Jira for now is the most accepted tool for delivering this kind of projects. So, but you can do it in so many, like you can use monday.com, you can use Asana. So don't be confused if you start doing it in another place that is not Jira. So, but we are using Jira because Jira is more, is free and is more sophisticated. So we've created initiate, enter, we create define, enter, we create execute, enter, we create closure. Yeah, this is going to be our epic. This is how our project is going to be, how we plan it till we close our project. That is the epic. We have created, we have mapped out our epic. So it must not, one thing I want to address now, that epic must not be only initiate, define, and closure. It depends on the kind of project you are working on. So epic here in another project might be another thing. It might be, so, but on this particular project we have been working on, because I want us to just use this work breakdown structure we'll be using that framework to continue with that till here, so that you won't get confused. So it's like similar, the same thing, because even if in another project you'll be working, that's how you have to start planning your project. So now we have created the epic, call it epic list. The next thing is to create our project tasks or user story. And we need to do that in the backlog area. So that is what we are going to do now. We go to a backlog. So if you come here, you can see the backlog is empty. There's nothing here. So, and this is where we are going to create it. In Jira call it issue. So here you see create issue. Issues are a problem or a task or user story. So what we need to do now is to start creating our issue. And the first thing, if you are looking at the project labor, the first thing there under our task, which is under initiate, is receive project mandate.
Yes.
So receive project mandate. That is the first thing there. The second thing is assemble project team. Created. The third thing is define roles and responsibilities. The next thing is define project scope. The next thing is select project methodology. The next thing is identify stakeholders and expectation. Please mute yourself. The next thing is facilitate requirement gathering. And the next thing is requirement analysis. And then business case. And that is the task we are going to be working with so far. So now we have created our user stories or the tasks. We now have a product backlog here in our Jira. Then the next thing is to start assigning epic to the user stories. You saw these user stories, they don't have a category they belong to. So we have to start assigning each of them to categories, which is epic. So what we need to do is to we click each user story and then we work on the user story. Like now, you see we've clicked the receive project mandate and this dialog box here opened up. And then what we need to do here is to assign this user story an epic. So you can see here, add epic. You can look at it here, add epic. And I'll click on it. And you bring down all the epics I have here. And you can see we have closure, we have execute, we have define, but all these user stories belong to initiate stage. So I'll assign it here. And you can look at it here, it has appeared. And that is what we are going to do to all of them. So we keep doing it until we finish all of them. All of them belongs to initiate stage. So that's what we'll be doing until finish. Yeah. Sorted. You can see it is now sorted. We've assigned epic to our user stories. Then the next thing we have to do is assign a story point to every user story. Story point is a point like from 1 to 10, which grade each user story or each task based on how difficult it is. So, and it's going to be like from 1 to 10 points. 10 points is the most difficult. And 1 is the least difficult. So that's how we are going to start arranging our work so that the developers will know which one is harder and which one, and the amount of time to apportion to every user story. If it's a work that is harder, they might just take one work per day and concentrate on that work because it's very hard. But if it's like work that is not hard, very simple, they can take like 4 or 5 tasks and work on that a day. That is how to manage it. So you don't do it alone. While assigning story points, you have to work with the developers because it's not you, the project manager, that is going to do the work. Your own is to plan and organize. But they that have the technical knowledge to do the job will tell you how difficult it is. So you have to work with them to give this thing a point. So, but we'll just be adding points, just to keep working because we don't have developers. working with us. So what I'll do is that I'll just be adding this number one. Let me say receive project mandate. I will add, look at where you add the estimate the story point here. So I will just add 5. This one, I'll just add assemble project team. Let me say 6. Define rules and responsibilities, which you will use racing matrix to help you to do that. Let me say 7. Define project scope. Yeah, this one is going to be a bit difficult. Yeah, you need to involve a lot of technical analysis. So I'll see 8. And then select methodology. I'll say 5. And identify stakeholders' expectation, because you know stakeholders are difficult at times to manage, but if you study them very well, you understand them very well. So let me say 7. Managing stakeholders is very, very important. So, and then facilitate requirement gathering. Let me say 8. And the requirement analysis, I'll give it 9. And then business case, that is bringing everything together. I'll give it 10. Yeah, good. Now you can see our project is taking shape. Now we have 65 story points to tackle. That is the amount of work we need to do to finish this project. We call it story points. So now we've sorted our story points. We've known the amount of work we have. And the next thing is now to assign all these tasks to team members. You know, if we have other team members, the time we are doing define rules or the assemble team, what we need to do, we have to assign add all our team members. Like if we are 10 working on this project, this is where we are going to add people here. So, but for now, I'm the only one working on this project. So I will assign everything to myself. Assignee. From here, that's the person you are going to assign it to. And the person is going to report to me. So I will assign it to myself and I will report to myself. So assign it to me. So you can see somebody is now owning the responsibilities. I now have the ownership of this user story or this user or this task. So continue to do more. I'll keep assigning till I finish assigning the who to before we start. We can't start until finish assigning this task to people, so we know who is doing who. Or you can even do it later, because see here, you can plan, but this is how at times I want to plan. Or you can finish, you can even wait till when you finish planning your sprint, and then you start assigning. So, but we've assigned. So at times you don't need to assign. So allow the developers to choose whatever they want to, whichever one they feel that they want to start with. Not you, the project manager, that's going to assign it to developers. But you have to watch and see them take the one they feel they have to start with. You know, that's how you assign it to people who they believe should do this one, or that's why we call it a cross-functional team. So everybody you choose. In Scrum, we don't have a leader. Everybody is one. If you're working in a Scrum environment, everybody is one. You don't say maybe I'm the project manager. We work as a team. So the only thing is that the Scrum Master, the duty is to be there. That's called it a servant leader. So he's even more of a servant, not a leader. So everybody is equal. So you don't raise your shoulder that you are the project manager or they are the school. So everybody is equal. So you don't have to assign job to anybody in Scrum. But I like you see, I'm doing here, I'm assigning, I'm just choosing the one I feel I can do. So that's how Scrum works. So I've assigned this, and then after assigning to team members, then the next thing we need to do is prioritize the product backlog. Prioritizing product backlog is to put which one you feel that is the more important, the first one that should be done. You know, you see now I've brought receive project mandates down, but all of us knows that receiving project mandates should come before assemble project team. All I just want to show you is here that you can move it around, and that is what you should do now. Prioritize your backlog or your task in the order of importance, or in a sequence, how the order of dependencies, how it comes, which one comes first, which one should be done before the next one. So what we need to do is receive project mandate should be the first one, because you need to understand what you are doing before even you start assembling your team. So I'll take it back. So, and I will leave it the way it is. I'm happy the way my project is. It's already prioritized from the beginning. So that one sorted. So the next thing I have to do is to move the these are user stories to the sprint area where we are going to do the work. But before we do that, let us go to our road map and see how it's looking. We go back to our road map. You see our road map here. Under this epic list, click here. So you see that all that appear under each epic. You see, now you can see that all these things, you see all of them, they are now under the initiate stage. So even if you add some of the tasks under this define stage, they will all appear there. So everything is working fine. So we have to move to the next stage. What we are going to do now from our product backlog is to start selecting work and start moving them to the sprint area. This is the sprint area. You see here, you see some people working here. That is a work environment. That's where we plan our sprint, do our sprint meeting, organize our sprint, look at it, everything very well, and then we start work. But before we do that, we need to move user stories, which is the task, to here. First move this one. You see it's a drag and drop. I drag this one again. I drag this one again. I drag this one again. So that's what we'll have. I think we can move everything. Can move everything to can finish everything in one sprint. So, or let's just do these ones. Because let's just do the job in 2 sprints. A sprint is the amount of time, a period of time it take us to finish what we have selected. This job we have selected is our sprint. Mainly sprint is within 1 month, within 2 weeks to 1 month. So that's what is sprint. The work, the duration will take us to finish the work we've selected before we can start selecting another work. So we've selected all these ones based on the sprint point is 38. So we still have 27. So that's what we need to do now. So now we have moved our work to the sprint area. What we need to do is to give the sprints a name. And this is where we can give the sprint name. But I'm happy with the name. sprint 1. So then after giving it name, now we are calling it sprint 1. The name is there, I'm okay with the name. So we have to add date and time. See, under this dialog box, we need to add date and time. So we are starting this work immediately. So, and I'm happy with the, let's look. First, duration is going to be 2 weeks. We select 2 weeks, we need to do this work in 2 weeks. And then date and time, today is 10th. Let's just select today's date, select today, and I'm happy with the time because we're already working on it already, we've started. So now we give it a goal. What are we trying to achieve? The goal should be to initiate Project Jankara. That is our goal, to initiate Project Jankara. So sorted, and we click. So that is it. We've, if you look at here, as Project Jankara e-commerce sprint 1 starts on 10th of March and ends on the 24th of March. You can see it here. So that is, so we have started. And what do we do now? We come here and click start. Oh, why is it not starting? Yeah, the work have started. So you can see here, you say sprint started. So we've taken you to your team sprint board. Good luck, team. So here we've started our work. So as you can see, we have moved from roadmap to backlog. From backlog, we created a backlog and then plan our sprints, and then on the board, on our Kanban board, where we can now start the work proper. The work has started, so no wasting of time. And within this period of time, these 2 weeks, we are going to do this work. Every day, each member of our team will come and tell us what he's been doing on, what he's going to work on, and the challenges he's been facing during his work. So that is what will be happening every day. For a period of 2 weeks, we'll be doing it. So what are we doing now? Okay, I'm a team of my own, I'm working alone. So I have to start. From this to-do list, you can see to-do list. Let me start selecting something I have to start doing today. I move this. I need to receive my project mandate first. I need to assemble my team. I need to define roles and responsibilities. So that is what I'm starting with. And I'm starting immediately. So let's see it. So this is the receive project mandates. Yeah, I've received it and I've gone through it and I quite understand it. It's very good. So let me just make a comment that I've received it. Project mandate. Receive. Received. Yeah, project mandate received. So I've done that, and yeah, let me put happy emoji to show that, please, I'm happy. Yeah, good. I've done this one. Yeah, and I'm done with this task. So I move it here. The tester will test it. Make sure that I actually received the project mandate and I've gone through it and everything is in order. After the testing done, good. The tester have gone. Tester will go through it. Yeah, receive the project mandate. We've gone through the project mandate, made comments. Everything is okay. Good. Then sorted. Done. I finished this task. And then I will pick another one. Yeah. Assemble project team. Done. I've finished this work. I'm not slacking. There's everything okay. Sorted, meet the requirements. I've gone through it. It meets the acceptance criteria to receive in order to assemble a team. I use my racing matrix. I plotted all the 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 graph, everything, the racing matrix, everything sorted, good, and then done. So as I'm working, my work is moving fast, so I'm bringing more from to do and adding it to the in progress. So define roles and responsibilities. Yes, still need my racing matrix. Everybody need to do what they are doing. Sorted. Sorted. Everybody know their work. Good, good. Yeah, my work is moving, so I'm very happy. Yeah. So Tester, over to you. So that is it. That is how my job is progressing. And that is how to manage a project using Jira. So now that our work is moving, everything is, we need to look at, let us monitor the statistics of our work. Yeah, need to monitor the statistics, see how things are. And you look at, I go to the insights. Let me see how I'm moving. Yeah, you can see from here, 29% done. I'm moving fast. Within now, I've gone this far. Let us look at it in details. What I've done 29%, 39 in progress, and 32 not started. I'm not doing badly. So that is it. Okay, let me look at my graph and see how my graph looks like. Yeah, that is my burn down chart. You can see this is a job that is supposed to be in, we need to do this job within 2 weeks. What the burn down chart is telling me is that this is how far I've covered already, and I have all this place that is not shaded is the amount of days or work I need to do. That's what I have from here to here. That's what I have. So I still have a lot of days, but I'm moving fast. So that is how all these things work. Let's look at the remaining work. Percentage. This is it. So that is how it is. Okay, let's look at the epic progress. Let's look at the epic progress. On our epic, you can see we're still in initiate, and the initiate is green, so it's moving. And in progress and to do, so this is how our epic looks like. And that's how you get the insight using dashboard and statistics to monitor the progress of your project. And that is it for now. Then we need to gather our reports, how far we've gone. So we need to start from this epic. I need to show what I've done today. So I need to screenshot it. And to screenshot, like I said, is Windows Shift S. I'll screenshot this and I'll have to save it now. Save it. Jankara 1. Save it, close it. Then I'll go to my backlog. Yeah, that is my backlog. That's how it's looking for now. I will screenshot, Window Shift S. I will save it. Jankara 2. I'll close. Then we'll go to our board. Window Shift S. I'll save. Jankara 3. And that's it. We are done. So that is it with for now. I can just finish off the whole thing, but this is what I want to show you people. So you can just keep adding from to do to moving from one stage to another to finish everything. And then you come back to this thing. So yeah, when you finish the sprint, then like now we come to this sprint now, you see this one we have done, all this done area, you can see done here, testing in progress. So you see it has ruled this one, PGE5, done, ruled. PGE6, done, ruled. So that is it. You look at it here. From here, from backlog, you can see what is happening here. And this is the one that you have not even started. You have not moved them to the, you have not planned it. It's not sprint yet. So when you finish this one, then you come back to this one and continue. This is a 2 weeks project. So, but for today, I've finished my work for today. So if you come here from you can see the same thing we are seeing from the other angle. That's what we are seeing here. And that's it. Our job is moving. So that is where we are. This is what I have achieved today. I've received the project mandate sorted. I've sorted out, I've assembled my team. And there I've started, I've defined rules and responsibilities. And that is what I've done. Is still going through testing. And what I'm working on now is to define the project scope. So if every morning, like for instance, tomorrow morning, if I want to continue with this project during my daily stand-up, what I will do, I have to give you people a brief of what I've done. Like I've selected all these things. What I've done, I've received my mandates, assembled my team. I've defined roles and responsibilities, although it's still going through testing, but I've done that. I'm working on defining the project scope. And for now, I don't have any issue. Or for instance, if I have issue, if I'm having issues trying to define this scope, let me say to show you people that I have issue, there is problem in this defining this scope. What I have to do is I need to flag off a red this thing here. I flagged it off. I have a problem here. So the problem I have here is that I'm trying to meet with my stakeholder that cannot see my stakeholder. So that is a red flag here. So when the Scrum Master comes and see a red flag, the Scrum Master will just call me or approach me. Hey, Mr. Charles Ugu, what is the problem? I can see you are flagging off a red flag. What is this? What is the situation? I will tell the Scrum Master I've been trying to meet the project sponsor in order to define the scope of this project, and I can't meet him. Can you help me to get his attention? It's okay, no problem. And this Scrum Master will call the sponsor. Mr. Charles, the business analyst, has been trying to get your attention to define the project scope. Please, can you give him attention? So because he's now becoming a blocker, okay, this project sponsor was okay, I'll make our time, and the project sponsor maybe call me and we'll schedule a date and we'll meet and we'll sorted it out. And then I'm happy now. I've had a meeting with him and we've sorted out that. So now it's sorted out, I have to remove the flag. You know, I have to remove the flag. Everything's working. I move it to testing. That's it. Then I have to look at the methodology. We are going to use Scrum to do this. So now all this one, the testing is done. Yeah, done the testing. This one still undergoing testing, and that's it. So that is how we do this. You can see it's not a rocket science. Just for you to be organized, just practice it and everything will be fine. So that is it for tonight's class. What you need to do is all this, I'll still put it down in a paper. You go to Jira, sign up, and from the project labor, plan the way I just carry out this activity, plan the initiation stage of this project in a Jira, just like the way I planned this one. Screenshot the roadmap. You have to click so that I will see all the things you've done. How you see how this one is looking. When you screenshot the roadmap, then you screenshot the backlog, then you screenshot the task board, and that is going to be your homework your assignment, your third assignment. So you see how many minutes it takes us approximately 10 minutes. Yeah, is it there? Yeah, no, it takes we started many hours, but it's like 1 hour, let's say 1 hour to do this. So, and that is very good. I can see 2 people are raising their hands, and I will stop sharing my screen so that I can answer these questions. Okay, I will start from Chinonso Nweke. Please unmute yourself and come up with what you want. Chinonso Nweke. Yeah, Kinsley Asogwa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, I have a little clarification. Maybe I want to understand more. As
Okay.
the at the stage of testing, at the
Yeah.
stage where the user story get to testing, how
Yes.
long the user story stays in the testing board or in the testing board before moving it down to the done stage? That is number one. Then
Okay.
second, secondly, the who is in charge of the testing stage of the project? Is it the project manager, or does the project manager assign a team member to be in charge of the testing stage of the project? Thank you, sir.
Okay. The testing has no amount or no duration. It is the tester that will decide. So it takes the tester decide how much, but tester need to do it as soon as possible. You know, everything I've assigned have a story point on how difficult it is. So as soon as the tester can be a business analyst. The project manager is not is only if a project manager is working on a hybrid capacity. Hybrid capacity is that as a project manager, you are a developer and you are a business analyst, or you are like I am now, as all of you know, I'm a business analyst as well, and I'm a developer. So I can work as a business analyst. So I can be a tester, I can be a developer, and I can be a project manager. I can work, so I can do all these things. But the project manager's role is not to test. If he started testing, he's not testing under the capacity of a project manager. He's testing under the capacity of a tester or a business analyst, because a business analyst can test. So, and it doesn't have an amount of time. So it's as soon as you finish your testing, then you move.
Okay, sir. All
Yeah.
right, sir.
But if during the testing and you find out that it doesn't pass the test, then you call the attention of the developer, you know, to call it a regression testing. When after testing and it doesn't pass, you call it, then you go back to do the job again and fix whatever the bug you find out during the testing. And once the bug is fixed, then you can pass it and then you move to done. And we use requirement traceability metrics to manage these requirements, which shows how the testing and everything, how the requirement is done. So all those testing is the test you need to plan before the work start. Like you need to create test cases, test plan, test scenario. We have not reached all those areas, and it's not in this course that I'm going to teach people about testing, because testing is not a project management course. Testing is under business analysis, so that's why we're not talking about it. But I just have to clarify because you asked the question.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Chineye Adebulugbe. Sorry for the long. sorry, sorry for the long. Chinyere.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry for modeling your name.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Even me, I model it sometimes.
Okay.
Sorry, I had two questions earlier, but the last guy had just, from answering his own question, another question came up for me. So let me start with that.
Okay.
Please. So, is it possible that a team member can wear more than one hat at the same time in one project? You understand what I'm asking, sir?
Yes, I've just answered that question. Like, you are now a hybrid business analyst and project manager.
Okay.
So you, as a hybrid in this project, you can see me, I'm doing the job of a developer and the job of a business analyst and the job of a scrum master. So is allowed. But which
Okay.
one you are doing, you are not doing it. If you are doing the job, we know the job of a business analyst, the role of a business analyst. So when you start meddling with the role of a business analyst, then you know you are working as a business analyst. And then let that role be signed to you. You're undertaking
Okay.
that role as a business analyst, not as a scrum master or as a project manager.
Okay,
So
sir.
in a small project, even one person can do everything
Okay, sir.
in a small project.
And it will
But
still be acceptable.
yeah, it's accept the management. No, are they not the person that employed you to do a
Okay.
hybrid job for them?
Okay, sir. Now,
Yeah.
another question I wanted to ask, when we are going through I can't remember now which area, I think the backlog, where you itemize the under initiate, exactly, under initiate, you
Okay,
have a,
epic list.
yes, sorry, the epic list. I saw that the defining the scope came, the project scope came after assembling team. So I was thinking that you would have you would have defined your scope before you now assemble team. I mean, that's my own thinking. So I just wanted to throw more light on that sequence.
No, you have to assemble your project team because all of you are going to work as a team to look at the scope and then define your scope. But it's left for you as a project manager or as a business analyst to use your initiative and prioritize your job the way you feel that is true. But for me, I believe it's better to assemble your team because you alone cannot define the scope. So it's when you assemble your team, all of you will then look at the
scope together.
Yeah, the work, the problem you people are trying to solve, and then define the scope. So if it can be between you and some of the stakeholders, will just sit down, but it will be very difficult for only you to define the scope. So I'm advising you not to do that alone. You must have to define the scope with a group. If you are the only person, maybe it's your project, you can run it the way you want it. But if it's an organization, there's no way you can just be doing everything on your own. So you have to assemble the team, and then you people start working as a team.
Okay, sir. And thank you. And then finally, looking at the Jira software, I just want you to confirm my assumption that every member of the team will see what everyone is working on, or are there some that are just meant for the project manager alone? Everyone will be seeing what each team member is working on at any time. You can access it at any time.
Everybody is seeing what everybody is working on. So that's why, that's one thing in Agile Scrum. Transparency is one of the key elements in a Scrum. Everybody see what everybody is doing. It's not hidden. But if there are some things that can be, call it control, access control. Maybe there's something they don't want you to do. Maybe if the Scrum Master or the management have added testing in the board, and they don't want anybody to delete it or to close that testing or any of the board. Through the access control, they will disable it, that you can just work on it, but you can't close it. That's how to control, make control through that area.
Okay, sir.
So that's the duty of that is the duty of Jira administrator, to work on the access control. Make sure what you can see and work on and what you cannot do.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
Please, whoever is raising hand, because I'm seeing a lot of hands going up, If Chinyere, you bring your hand down because I can't talk to you again.
I brought it down.
Okay. And just be brief in your question so that the others are raising their hands. I can attend to them before the time. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay, Isabella.
Yes, good evening, sir.
It's after Isabella, Ruth. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my question is, what qualifies one to become a Scrum Master, and at what stage does the Scrum Master come in the project?
Yeah, what qualifies you to become a Scrum Master is to write Scrum Master exam certification and pass it, and then you become a Scrum Master. So you can be doing a Scrum job. You can understand, like what I've taught you people. You have learned some aspect of Scrum. You can even be doing, but you are not a Scrum Master because you are not qualified. So for you to to be a Scrum Master, to be called a Scrum Master, like me, I've written the exam, I've passed the exam, and I can act as a Scrum Master because I have the certification, and my certificate does not expire. So I'll become a Scrum Master till I die.
Okay. Then at what stage of the project does the Scrum Master come in?
Scrum Master start from the beginning because, in short, he's the person that organizing the whole thing in the Jira. So he comes in from day one. He's the person that organizes Scrum. That's why he call him Scrum Master. He's the person that put the house in order and start bringing everybody in. So that's why I call him the Scrum Master. If anybody having a problem, they call his attention. You see, when I was having issues with defining the scope, I raised the flag. And Scrum Master came immediately and they rescued me, brought the attention of the stakeholder, and I did my this thing and moved on.
Okay, so does it mean that the Scrum Master can be the manager at the same time, or are they different persons?
Scrum, there is no project manager in Scrum.
Okay.
When you start Scrum, the role of a project manager, you can have a project manager in the company where everybody's good, but within the Scrum process, there is no project manager. If you're a project manager and you want to work within the Scrum, then you can be called Scrum Master.
Okay.
So that's how it happens.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Ruth.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much. I think you've answered a bit of the question. I wanted to confirm, does each team member, when each team member reports their progress on the task board, is the Scrum Master that adds, once their progress has been reported, he adds the progress to the that's done column that you showed us. The Scrum Master is one that
is not the Scrum Master, is the tester. Once you finish, the Scrum Master is to make sure you don't have a problem. You call a Scrum Master attention to make sure that if you're having a problem. So if you are not moving, if you are stuck in your job for some time, which is not supposed to be, the Scrum Master will ask you a question. What are you, or why are you stuck? Or you shouldn't even allow the Scrum Master to call you. You should know when you're having a problem, you call the attention of the Scrum Master. But it's not the Scrum Master that will say when the job is done. The job will be done when you meet their job meets the acceptance criteria, which you define during the when you are planning the user stories. Every user story have got acceptance criteria. Once the user story meets the acceptance criteria, it will automatically be considered as done after the testing. So when they are testing a user story, they use acceptance criteria as a benchmark to test it. So that is it. Once he passes the acceptance criteria, he moves to done. And is the tester, you can be a tester or you can have a tester in a big project, or the business analyst can be the tester, you know, doing the job. So it's not the Scrum Master, or it can be the Scrum Master if the Scrum Master is working on a hybrid role, maybe working as a Scrum Master, as a business analyst, or even as a developer. So,
okay, thank you.
Graham.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Taking a cue from Ruth's question, which you've answered, I just want to be clear. Is it that once the assignee finishes the project or the job that has been assigned to her, the assignee moves the card to the tester? When after testing, the tester moves it to finished. Is that how the process works?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Then secondly, to be a Scrum Master, is there a number of years you have to have practiced? Is there any other professional training you need to undergo before you can proceed to writing the exam and qualifying as a Scrum Master?
There's no number of years. It's all about how competent you are. If you have stayed 100 years as a project manager and you don't know what you are doing, you are not going to pass. But if you have started the ESD and go through anything, done your training, read everything that's supposed to read, and book the exam and go for the exam and write the exam and pass the exam, you get your certificate immediately.
Okay. Are there certain bodies that are recognized or that are preferred for someone to be a Scrum Master? Is there a certain organization that is more preferred than the other?
They're all good, you know.
Okay.
But in you have Scrum Alliance, which you can go there and practice, and they'll help you write exams. You go to their center and write exam and pass. And we have scrum.org, where you can do everything online. You can write the exam online, even in your house, as long as. But it's not that so easy, because it's a time-based this thing. You just log in, write it online. If you pass, they give you this thing. So that's how it's done. If you want to do it, you can go to scrum.org and go through it and register and write your certification.
Okay, sir.
But that's not the main thing. The main thing is to understand these processes, because they are not going to be looking at your in the industry. It's not a certification-based industry. It's a competent-based industry. They've never asked me about my Scrum certification. What they ask me, what can you do? So let us not be dwelling on how to get a certificate. Dwell on how to know get the skills, know how to do it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Olufunke. Olufunke, okay, if you don't want, if you are.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, I'm listening. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, I say carry on.
Hello.
I said carry on.
Ask if one cannot become.
I can't hear you very well.
I don't know if you can hear me, sir.
Oh, okay, carry on. I said carry on.
Okay. I said I wanted to ask if one cannot be a project manager without being a Scrum Master.
You can be a project manager without being a Scrum Master. It's quite possible. Like what we are doing now, we are planning to become a project manager. You know, as a matter of fact, you are already a junior project manager by the amount of skills I've impacted on you guys. So that is it. You're already a project manager. So you don't need to be a Scrum Master in order to be a project manager. But it's good to have to be a Scrum Master or have Scrum experience, Scrum knowledge. So that's it. Because most of the things they are doing now is in agile methodology is going to be on Scrum environment. So at this point, I'll call it